Hello, I'm Yang Rui with the Dialogue, brought to you from Beijing. The Pentagon has called tensions on the Korean Peninsula the worst since the end of the Korean War in 1953. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea on Tuesday urged foreign companies and tourists in the Republic of Korea to evacuate, saying the two countries are on the verge of a nuclear war. Analysts say Pyongyang's next act of defiance could be a critical test of whether U.S. President Barack Obama's strategic patience is beginning to run out. Russia and China, on the other hand, maintain that political and diplomatic efforts should not be renounced, as any other alternative may bring the threat of profound upheavals in Northeast Asia. To take a closer look at the uncertainty in Northeast Asia, we are joined here in the studio by Mr. Yang Xiyu, Senior Fellow with the China Institute of International Studies, and Mr. Sunny Lee, an ROK columnist and commentator. But before we get started, let's take a look at this background report.
On March the 31st, Pyongyang announced that it was in a state of war with South Korea, saying any military provocation near its border would result in a full-scale conflict and nuclear war. Tensions on the Korean Peninsula have reached a crescendo.
Some of the actions they've taken over the last few weeks present a real and clear danger and threat to the interests, certainly, of our allies.
In response to Pyongyang's nuclear threats, the U.S. has sent bombers and stealth aircraft to the region, and it is preparing to deploy an advanced missile defense system to the island of Guam, 3,200 kilometers to the east of the DPRK. On April 2nd, the DPRK announced it would restart a mothball nuclear reactor, closed since 2007 under an agreement reached at the six-party talks. The DPRK leader Kim Jong-un praised the benefits of nuclear abilities.
Our nuclear strength is a reliable war deterrent and a guarantee to protect our sovereignty. It is on the basis of a strong nuclear strength that peace and prosperity can exist, and so can the happiness of people's lives.
South Korea has also made clear its determination to deal with the situation.
If there is any provocation against South Korea and its people, there should be a strong response in initial combat without any political considerations.
Tensions have been running high since the end of last year, when the DPRK successfully launched a long-range rocket Ongha-3. Right after that came their third nuclear test in February. In response to the test, the U.S. and South Korea held a series of joint military drills. Occasional border skirmishes aside, the Korean Peninsula has seen 6 decades of peace. But many now fear that war could be a real possibility.
Welcome back. Sunny, do you think the bluff from the DPRK does mean that a war is imminent?
Well, I hope not. This weekend I'm going back to Seoul. If there is a war breaks out, I'm in trouble right now. I won't be able to see both of these handsome gentlemen anymore, so I hope not. But then I think this is a time that even though North Korea engineered the problem, I think we should think about the solution-wise. And besides North Korea, I think other parties can play a role. I have just a funny idea that what if Mr. Obama gives Kim Jong-un a phone call? Hey, Mr. Kim, I know you are disturbed by something, and your disturbance also disturbs us. I think we need to talk. I think a phone conversation between Obama and Kim Jong-un for 5 minutes, I think that can solve the problem. I think we need a leadership right now.
Well, great minds think alike. In fact, just half an hour ago, I posted a message on Weibo calling for President Obama to give his North Korean counterpart a phone call, and that's a perfect solution. Instead of having something like the 1972 Richard Nixon's historic visit to the PRC for opening the door between the two great powers, what do you think of a phone call diplomacy that should be initiated gracefully by President Obama?
Well, it's a very good question, but I think now the opportunity has been passed. If President Obama gave a phone call before North Korea stirred up the current crisis, say